Morning everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday class on this frosty cold morning in Norwich. Please say hi in the chat and let us know where you're from. And yeah, I thought we'd Jacqueline's first on the chat from Norwich indeed. So good morning, Jacqueline. If anyone else would like to post in the chat, just let us know where you're from. Okay, so we've got Susan, Sally, Kim, Jane and Anne are the first to post. Okay, I just thought we'd do a special on breathing this morning. I've got the cycle of meridians, just to remind you that we're going on a 1-year journey around the cycle of meridians. We're going to spend 1 month on each of the meridians. So we're still in the lung zone. You can see that that's between 3 and 5 a.m. That's the time when we're supposed to get up, do our breathing exercises and stuff like that. And the whole meridian cycle is kind of like a kind of guide to the best kind of activities to do during the day. So through the year, we're going to learn a lot more about how the traditional Chinese medicine viewed the daily rhythms as opposed to the yearly or the season rhythms. Okay, so this is our journey. We're only on week 2 so far of our journey around the channels. But I thought we'd do a bit of a special on breathing today as we're in the lung zone. So I'm going to start today off by doing an exercise we've done before a few times, which is to check to see where our breathing is going in our body. So basically what we're going to do is just going to relax for a second, and then we're all going to do a deep breath in, and we're just going to see where that breath goes to, where the lowest part of the breath goes to. Then what we'll do is we'll do the body scans, we'll check in with the burners, and then today, if we can work on getting that breathing a bit deeper by regulating in different burning spaces and do some other stuff, that would be a really good thing to do. Okay, so if you'd like to do the exercise with me, I'm going to run a poll. I've got the poll already, which is where is the lowest point that your breathing went to when you breathe in. I'm just going to find it again right now. Yes, when you breathe in, where does the lowest part of your breath go to? That's the question. So let's just check it in and I'll see how I'm doing this morning with breathing. No forcing or anything at the moment, or no directing the breath. We're just going to take a natural deep breath in and see what happens. Okay, so when you're ready, I'm just going to relax for a second and then breathe in. Okay, and if you just chart where your breath goes to, where's about the lowest point that it goes to? I know what my answer is. You could probably see it on the video there. So let's run that poll now. So does it go into the upper lungs? That would be here. The lungs itself, do you feel it down into the upper abdomen or even maybe into the lower abdomen? And we can work with that for the rest of the session. So let's see how we're doing. Well, as a group, we're doing pretty well. Look at that. That's actually a pretty good result. Much better than 6 months ago, a year ago, where we got a lot of people voting for upper lungs, just into the lungs. And we got hardly any down to lower abdomen. So the Wednesday classes are working, people. We're definitely changing our energy. Look at that. We've got 1 vote for the upper lungs, which is pretty awesome. So what we're going to do is establish that and really work on that for the rest of the session. But well done, everyone. That's a truly impressive result. Okay, now Dinah's in the chat. She's already posted, and if you've got any questions as we go along, if you need any support, just post in the chat and Dinah will support you. So now it's time for the body scans and for the 3 burner scans. So we need our piece of paper. I'm going to do it along with you, and we'll just see how we're doing. We've got a pretty good breathing pattern there overall, so we can really strengthen that and establish that as we go along. So first of all, it's a whole body scan. Really good idea once a week to just check in and see how we're doing. We're going to just stand feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to scan down through our body, starting off way above the head, and then scanning down through the skull, through the jaw, ears, eyes, sinuses, through the mouth, tongue, just scanning through the head, checking out the eyes, seeing what that's like. And then we go down through the throat and neck area, scanning through the upper back, shoulders, down the arms and into the hands. Okay, and then we go down through the body, down into the diaphragm. Okay, through down to the abdomen. And then the hips, legs and feet. Okay, now we're going to zoom out and just see if there's any particular places of blockages or weakness in your body, or any you might find some emotional resonances, anything you pick up with the whole scan. This is like an overview of our general overview of our energy before we get into the 3 burners. So I'm going to just draw my whole body scan in. So what we can do is, as we go through the exercises, if you want to tailor them just for your own personal energy pattern, which is what I'm going to be doing, I can tell you, because I really need some help today. Look at that scan. Oh my goodness. What we can do is we can focus it in as we go. Just focus those exercises in with what you need for your own personal work. Okay, cool. Right, so now we're going to go for the 3 burner scan. We'll just see how we're doing. We've had a bit of a run of lower burner and upper burner dominance for the last few weeks, and there's probably a good reason for that. We're in the winter time, there's quite a lot of stress around with the new variant and all that kind of thing. So let's see where we are with the burners now. I'm going to just draw my 3 zones here. Okay. And we're going to scan through them. Tell you what, just for a change, let's scan through all of the 3 burning spaces before we do the drawing, and then we can kind of remember them and compare them one against the other. Okay, so we're going to stand feet shoulder width apart. Got my pad handy near me. Okay, so just relaxing. And I'm going to tune into the lower burner first. That's below the navel and around into the sacrum. I'm just going to relax down onto the pelvic floor. Just see what's going on there. We're going to ask ourselves, what's that like? Okay, got an idea, got an image or some words that describe that. And then we're going to go up into the middle burner. That's around the diaphragm and around into the lower thoracic. Okay, and you can compare, what we can do is we can compare the 2 to just see if they feel the same or what the difference is between the 2 areas. Okay, and then we're going to scan up into the upper burner. That's the whole of the lungs and the heart, both lungs and the heart area. Okay, very good, right? So got an idea. Now let's go zoom back in, just check the 3 all at the same time and just see which one seems to be calling out the most that you'd like to work on for whatever reason that is. Very good. Okay, so let's draw that now. I'm just going to draw the 3 burner scan in. Okay. Right, very interesting. And if you come every week or you come regularly, it's always interesting to look back at these scans and just see how you've changed from 1 week and 1 month to the next. So let's find out which the winning burner is going to be this week. Let's see, which burner would you like to work on today, or most today? Okay, I'll run that. Okay, let's see if we can get substantial. Oh, look at this. It looks like it's going to be, unless it changes, it's going to be the return of the middle burner. This is much more even, and the middle burner and the upper burner are pretty even this week. That's a bit of a big change round because we've had lower burner and upper burner really dominant over the last few months. So that's a bit of a change in the burner voting, and we've got a pretty even spread there of burners. So we can take our time and we can work on all 3 of them. And if you look back at the poll for the breathing, you notice that we've got about a third of you record your breathing going into the lower abdomen. So it'd be really great if we can get that up to almost all of us, including me, I should say, by the end of the session. And we can work on all the 3 burners. And of course, a special mention for the upper burner, which I'm glad to see won by 37.7%, because that's our burner of the month. The lungs are the organ of the month, which are in the upper burner. Okay, so without further ado, let's get straight on and check in how we're doing. Right, first of all, let's work on our standing. So we're going to open up the soles of the feet, kidney 1, and we're just going to relax the hips. Float the head up. Okay, before we do anything else in terms of internal energetics, let's get rid of any superficial or any tension or holding or freeze states that we've got in our body. So we're going to do some shaking. We're going to start off by just bouncing up and down and releasing. And what we'd like to do now is scan through, remember your whole body scan through and pick the area you felt was most blocked and start the shaking, focus the shaking right into that area. So I know exactly what I'm doing, but it could be anywhere in your body that you want to release the shaking. So we're going to go into that area and just experiment with how you can shake out any of that tension. Okay, we're going to be shaking out, we're going to exhale and release on the exhalation. And just get that shaking all the way down the arms and into the hands. Very good. Okay, now let's just make sure those hips are relaxed. We're going to release the hips. Just do a little bit of rotation here as well. Just shake out those hips. Very good. Okay, go a little bit further now because we're going to lean forwards and we're going to shake out any tension in the upper body and the shoulders and the jaw by throwing the tension out. So we can squeeze your shoulders up, kind of gather the tension here, lean forward, and then okay, you can go up, squeeze up, breathe in and okay, so when we think of breathing, we tend to think of the lungs, right? But as we've already found out through previous Wednesday classes, there are other things that go on according to Chinese medicine. We've got the lower burner, the middle burner, and the upper burner all kind of connect in how easy it is for us to breathe in and breathe out. So let's work systematically, and we're going to check in each time we do something to just see if that breathing has changed at all in the quality and the depth of it. Okay, so the first place we're going to start is on the feet, because we're going to start off by establishing the strength of the lower burner. So we're going to open up that kidney 1 and shake out the legs a bit. Open up kidney 1, rub our hands together. Okay, we're going to place our hands on the dantian, which is just below the navel, lower dantian. We're going to relax our shoulders and our arms, open up the armpits. And now we're going to open up kidney 1. We're going to focus on the feet. We're going to feel that connection down into the earth. And the reason for that is because we want to tonify the kidney yin. This is very important in the lower burner. It's a kind of calming aspect of the lower burner. We do that by opening up kidney 1. I'm just going to sort of wiggling my feet like this. Opening up. We'll give it some direct work in a minute, but let's see how much connection we can make with the feet and the lower dantian just by using our mind, directing our qi. And we're going to do this circling here to stimulate the lower dantian. Okay, and let's do some guided imagery of the breath. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in Breathe in the, imagine energy going down underneath our hands, okay? I'm going to hold it there for a second, and then as we breathe out, we're going to direct the breath down into the feet, okay? So it's breathing in, and then really relax, going to relax the shoulders, breathe out, relax the hips, breathe out, direct our energy down our legs and into kidney 1, into the feet. Okay, so we're going to breathe in. Hold the breath for a few seconds. We're going to keep that stimulation of this area with the hands, and we're going to breathe out. Direct the chi down into kidney 1. Okay, now you might find that as you do that and you feel that calming aspect going on there, you feel like a calm coming over the whole part, especially the upper part of the body. The reason for that is because we're tonifying the kidney yin, which is the most chilled out, calming thing we can actually do in this kind of internal exercises. So let's do it a few more times, and then we'll work from the other way up, getting that kidney connection into the lower dantian. All right, so here we go. We're still stimulating this, relaxing the hips, keeping the shoulders relaxed, breathing into the lower dantian. Breathing out, focusing on the feet and sending the energy down as we breathe out. Relax the hips and knees, send that chi down into the soles of the feet. Okay, very good. So we can take it one stage further and breathe in. And this time we're sending the energy down into our feet, and then we're imagining it going down into the earth. And you can imagine like a root going right down as far as you can into the earth. Okay, let's just do a couple more of those. Breathing in and breathing out. Imagine it going down as far as you can, down into the earth. Very good. Okay, excellent. Great work already. I feel a lot calmer already, and that's the kidney yin being tonified by this internal exercise. But I tell you what, my feet are a little bit cold because it's so frosty out here, and I just feel like we could do with working the other way up. So how about opening up kidney 1, working the kidney channel, and then we'll try another lower abdomen, lower burner tonifying exercise, which is breathing the chi up from the earth into kidney 1. But before we do that, let's give kidney 1 a bit of a helping hand. We're going to give it a bit of, do some doing for kidney 1. So just going to get our feet out. You remember where kidney 1 is? It's just 1/3 of the midline of the foot, so it's right there. Okay. Oh, my feet are cold. I'm just going to warm up a bit. Just a bit of a rub and tapping. We're going to go right in for that kidney 1 point. Stretching the foot open. Okay, if you want to add a little bit more interest here, we've got kidney 3. Remember that point just behind the ankle, and we can open up this stretch here, open up the inside of the leg here. This is the kidney channel stretch. Okay, here we go. Just a little bit more, I think, to get that really warmed up. Okay, brilliant. Put my sock back on straight away. And then we've got the other foot. So let's get that. Okay, we've got kidney 3 just behind the ankle, kidney 1 on the sole of the foot. We're just going to really tonify that up. Excellent stuff. Okay, we're going to get this opened up, and we'll open up the kidney channel, and then what we'll do is we'll do some breathing up from the earth. That's another really good lower abdomen, lower burner tonifying exercise. Right, I just felt that we needed to get that kidney one opened up with some dough in, so let's just see how that feels. Okay, let's have a go, see what it's like. Let's have a feel and see what that's like. Okay, closing our eyes for a second. Right, that's really good. That's turbocharged kidney one, just what we needed. So let's do some dough in on the channels, and then we'll do some more internal breathing. So we're going to just pick up the kidney channel just behind the ankle here and tap up the back of the legs, inside back of the legs. Kidney channel runs up here, it runs up into kidney 11, just on top of the pubic bone here. And then it's quite nice to just go round onto the sacrum, points to the bladder there, and then down the backs of the legs. This is the bladder channel, all the way down. And then round again onto the kidney channel and up again. Round and down. And then up again, just do it 3 times. Okay. Down we go, down into the foot again, and then brushing off. Excellent, we're just shake out. Very good. Okay, so that's opened up the kidney channel and kidney one directly. Let's just stand again and just notice the difference. Can you feel that? Turbocharged kidney one really is open now, zinging away. Let's connect again with the lower dantian and open up the hips and connect down. And look at that, what a strong connection we've got now, much stronger than before. So now we should be able to do this exercise. Let's try this one. This time it's a little bit more advanced. What we're doing is we're breathing air in here, but we imagine Qi or energy or yin coming up from the earth, meeting us here as the breath comes in. We breathe out and we send the Qi back down, or our intention down back into the earth. And that's a really strong tonifying exercise for the lower burner. Let's just try it. Okay, so we're gonna just enjoy that feeling of kidney one zinging away. We're gonna relax. Let's float that head up a bit, relax the shoulders. Okay, we're just gonna hold the dantian here and work on the internal exercise. So thinking down as far as you can deep into the earth. Okay, we're gonna breathe in. You imagine Qi coming up through the legs. Open up that kidney one, get the Qi to come up into the dantian to meet the breath. Okay, and then hold it, and that gives you a really stable, calm kind of feeling. Long exhalation, send the Qi back down into the center of the earth. Okay, got it? So let's try it again. Opening up kidney one, relaxing the hips, relaxing the shoulders, thinking down into the center of the earth, breathing in and bringing, drawing up that yin. It's almost that you're bringing up that earth energy up through the legs into the dantian, holding it, and then breathing out, sending our Qi down into the earth. You might have to think of it like nutrients and water coming up through the roots of a tree. That's another good image. And then connecting downwards and growing the roots down further as we breathe out. So let's do that. Let's try that image, breathing in, bringing up that earth energy, holding it, breathe out, send those roots down, looking for those nutrients down into the center of the earth. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, excellent. A bit of a shake out. Notice that gives us a really stable feeling in the lower body, and it gives an overall feeling of calmness. That's really, really awesome. Okay, so let's just check in again. We do the same exercise that we did at the beginning of the session. We're just going to relax, and we're just going to take a normal deep breath in. Okay, and notice where the breath's going. Notice if it's going any lower. Let's notice if it's going more stably downwards towards the lower abdomen. Breathing out. Okay, so now that we move up, those of you who had voted for the lower burner and had the breathing up, you might like to know that the lower burner, the kidney energy in Chinese medicine, grasps the qi from the lungs. So basically, if you have a weakness here, it tends to, you get this kind of pattern where this is weak and the breathing gets higher and higher. By strengthening this, we get the breath held down. That's a really important treatment principle for things like asthma and things like that in Shiatsu and acupuncture. Okay, now another thing that can kind of hold us up here, and this is me a lot of the time, is the middle burner, obstruction, because what can happen then is if we get tightness in the diaphragm, even though we've got a strong lower hara, we can get obstruction in breathing because of the physical obstruction in the diaphragm. So it's really important to work on the middle burner and clear that out. And those of you who voted for the middle burner are going to probably feel the biggest effect on the breathing in the next 5 or 10 minutes as we go through the middle burner exercises. Okay, so let's do it. So let's first of all start off with our favorite twisting exercise, lifting the head up, okay. Feeling the sacrum hanging down. So we've got the sacrum hanging down here. We've got the whole spine just relaxing downwards. Okay, and now we're going to focus this. We're going to keep the hips more or less straight, so we're not twisting the hips too much. We're twisting this part of the body, and we're going to twist around the middle burner, and particularly the diaphragm here as well. Diaphragm and the whole middle burner. So we're turning, keeping that head floating up, keeping the armpits open, keeping the hips straight as we can forwards to get that twist into the middle burner. Okay, now as we're doing that, let's add in kidney 1. The reason for that, if you're interested in Chinese medicine, is that kidney yin is very important for the liver yin. So if you want your liver to be chilled and cooled out, and so you're not kind of frustrated and angry and stuff like that, it's a good place to start is the kidney energy. So we're going to open up kidney 1, we're going to keep the swinging going, and we're going to imagine that connection with the earth. Get that lovely yin energy from the earth to come up and soothe that middle burner as we're twisting. Okay, and again, if you're feeling a little bit tired, you want to take it nice and easy. If you're feeling a lot of obstruction in the middle burner, you might want to just do it a little bit stronger and do this tapping on the side as we go around. And keeping that kidney 1 open, keeping that connection with the earth. Okay, excellent. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to come to the center, and now we need to do some doing just to help out that middle burner. And we've got the front of the legs and the sides of the legs related to the middle burner. We've got the stomach and spleen and the liver and gallbladder. So let's try it. Let's first of all start tapping around here. This is all related to the liver. We'll get to the liver in the cycle that we're doing at the moment. It's not going to be until next December, November, December, we'll get around to the liver and gallbladder because they're right at the end of the whole Chinese clock daily cycle. So we're going to be visiting them in quite a long time when we finally get to them. So we've got liver and gallbladder. Let's go down and let's just stimulate this point right in the hips. We're just going to give that a good tap. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go down the gallbladder and liver channels. We're going to check in here and see if any of the places that we tap feel like they're releasing the middle burner. And here's some favourite ones. Just below the knee on the outside, we've got gallbladder 34, one of the favourite points for releasing any tension in the body. So let's just wait there for a second and focus in on the diaphragm. Feel anything happening? If you need it, it's going to happen. We're going to work down, gallbladder, and then up. down the gallbladder 34, and then up the liver meridian. The liver channel runs quite near the shin and it goes down behind the knee and behind this big adductor muscle that you can feel on the inside of your leg. Just at the back of that, that's the liver channel. And that goes up and into here. Okay, one more time. Round into the hips. Down we go. And then up. And then brushing off. Bit of a shake. And shake out here. Okay, awesome. So now the next bit is the stomach and spleen channels down the front of the body. And that the channel actually starts in the head. And here's a bit of forewarning. The stomach and spleen channels are the ones we're going to be visiting next. After we've done the lung and large intestine. So we'll get onto the stomach and spleen in March this year, and we'll start to see the magical pattern of the channels emerging. By the end of the year, we'll have tracked all the channels through the body in the daily cycle, and we'll find out there's a kind of beauty to the way that the channels move. So that's all to come this year. We're moving slowly throughout the year towards it. So for now, let's just pick up the stomach meridian here. It actually starts off in the face. I think we've done some of the points last year. But for now, let's just work on the middle burner. So we're going to tap around here. We're going to go down just outside the abdominal muscles here. And we're going to go down outside of the legs. Outside front of the legs, and we're going to stop here just underneath the knee. This is stomach 36, the famous 3-mile point. Just to stop there, that's one of the strongest points for tonifying the stomach and spleen. So we're just going to tap there for a bit. And we're going to tune into here, tune into the middle burner, just see what's going on there. That's it. And we're going to go down onto the ankle and up. Spleen channel. Down, stomach, up the spleen, and down, stomach, stopping at stomach 36, down the stomach and up the spleen. Excellent. Okay, shaking out. Okay, now let's do something a little bit different. We're going to do a rotational exercise to unwind any tension in the diaphragm. So the way we do it is float the head up. Imagine that your sacrum, that's this bit here at the bottom of the spine, is like a pendulum. And what we're going to do is make small circles with that. Okay. And then we're going to extend it. And if we extend it bigger and bigger, you'll find that when you get to about here, it starts to engage the diaphragm. So you'll feel the diaphragm stretch there at the front, stretch at the sides, stretch at the back, around the lower part of the thoracic spine, and round. Ooh. Excuse me, there we are. It's working on moving my liver chi there. Okay, I got rid of a burp there. That's burping, by the way, is a sign of the liver chi moving, just in case that ever happens to you when we're tapping away on the liver and the gallbladder channel. And this was particularly effective. I can feel it stretching open the diaphragm here, just around here. Burping is generally a good sign, by the way. So we go round, and we're going to go around the other way. So I'm going to go back to the center and start turning that pendulum. First of all, here, when we start here, we tend to just release the hips and get the lower part of the body moving. As the circle gets bigger, you'll find you get to a certain point, and it's around here that you'll start to feel it stretch the diaphragm. And this is a really nice, easy way of opening up diaphragm. That, for those of you, the middle burner people who voted middle burner, they're the ones that you're going to get the most benefit for this in terms of improving the breathing. It's really working a treat on my middle burner here. Okay, there we go. Excellent, just shake that out. Okay, and we'll see how far we've got. Okay, so we've strengthened up the lower burner. We've done some awesome, really deep connecting with the earth. And now we've just really done a lot of work releasing the middle burner with the twisting, the stretching, the pendulum thing, and all the channel work. So those of you who voted for middle burner and were having trouble getting the breathing lower, this could be your moment, because let's see if this last section of what we've done makes a difference. Okay, so let's all do it together. We're just going to shake out. Okay, I'm just going to take a natural, easy, deep breath in and see what happens. Whoa, okay, well, I'm right there with you, middle burner people, because that's made a terrific difference to me. I can just feel this area. There's so much more space here, and the breath just seems to flow naturally down and connect down into the lower abdomen. Wow, this stuff really does work, doesn't it? Okay, so now we come to the upper burner, and those of you who maybe had the breathing a bit high and voted for the upper burner, now is your moment, because what we need to do now is to work on the descending function of the lungs. So in Chinese medicine, the lungs bring the air in and they descend the qi downwards. So characteristic of that, they send the qi and the fluids downwards. So for example, when you get a cold, you get all feel bunged up. According to Chinese medicine, that's because the lungs are not descending that qi down and the fluids downwards. Okay, so let's work on that. Let's figure out what's going on in the upper burner by doing a couple of stretches. This is a lung diagnostic stretch. We're going to go into the thumbs, and we're going to breathe in, we're going to breathe out, and we're going to stretch upper back. Just see what that feels like. If it's kind of tight and painful, that could be an obstruction in the lungs. If it kind of feels a little bit flabby and a bit weak out there, and you can't feel much, or it's a bit numb, that could be because of a deficiency in the lung. So we'll find out later when we do some tapping. This is a really good exercise to stretch out the pericardium channel. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, and we're going to open up like this. And that gives us a readout of what's happening in the pericardium channel. Does it feel stiff? Does it feel kind of weak? Are you getting obstruction through here? All these things are really important information to work on with the doing. And then finally, the heart channel, which is the deeper channel that runs into the armpit and goes into the heart. We can tune into that by going this way, opening up the armpits and breathing in. And then what I'm doing is I'm just breathing out, stretching backwards. And again, does that feel tight? Does it feel kind of weak? What's going on there in the heart channel? Okay, excellent. Well, let's start off by clearing all the fire element meridians. That's the heart protector and the heart. And then what we'll do is we'll finish off with the lungs, and we'll revise the points of the week that we did recently. We've got lung 5 coming up as point of the week, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. So first of all, let's get that the fire element meridians, the pericardium and the heart meridian. Let's just do some tapping there and just open those up. We're going to tap first of all on the pericardium. So we're opening up the hand and we're aiming for this middle finger here. And again, depending on what's happening here, if it's feeling a bit weak and vulnerable, you want to keep it very, very gentle. Or you may even want to hold it even if it's really weak, or very gentle tapping. If there's obstruction there, you might feel better by just doing it a little bit more vigorously. It's up to you to just adjust it up to what you need. And then we're going to go round, down into the hand. We go down into this middle finger here. And then just for completeness, we're going to go up the top of each channel here. Okay, the heart protector channel and the triple heater channel. So we go round here. Okay, very good. We're going to go tapping. Down. Okay, so we're opening up this whole area here, and we're tapping down the middle of the arm, down into the middle finger, and then back up from this finger here. This is the triple heater finger. It goes up this way onto the shoulders and around. Okay, very good. So just going to brush those off. And then we can check again with this shaking out a bit here, the shoulders. And let's just check that pericardium stretch again and see how different it feels. So we're going to breathe in, we're going to breathe out and slowly bring the arm out here. You can feel that tingling feeling going out into the middle finger there. That's the pericardium channel. And if you needed this, what you probably feel now is more space in this area here. It's a really important thing for emotional regulation. Okay, and if we want to go a little bit deeper into the heart channel, this is the channel that goes right into the actual heart organ, right the way through, and it starts on the armpit and it goes down towards the little finger. This is a little bit more of a vulnerable channel, so we tend to go a little bit easy on that. Just nice light tapping around the elbow, down into the little finger, and then we go back, the outside back of the arm, and that's the small intestine channel, that's the yang channel that pairs with the heart. So we go around. And around. Very good. And nice and easy. Brushing off. And the same thing the other side. We're going to start off as high as we can underneath the armpit. That's where heart 1 is. And then it goes down into the elbow, down into the wrist, and then up. Around. Down to the little finger. Around. Very good. Okay, excellent. So that's the fire element meridians. That's all related to the heart. We do this heart stretch again, check in, see how that feels. You just relax and just experience your shoulders and your whole chest area. You feel like kind of like a little bit activated, but in a kind of calm kind of way. And that's because a lot of these points here on the fire element meridians are designed to calm the mind and relax the heartbeat, adjust any palpitations, anything like that, or tightness in the chest. So look, breathing in again, breathing out, opening up those armpits, just stretching back. A nice calm feeling right into the chest there, relaxing the shoulders. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we come on to the lung channel. That's our channel of the month, in fact. Just to remind you of where we're at with it, we're in this 3 to 5 a.m. zone here, and we're going to just flick through. And remember, last week we looked at lung 1. That's just this beginning point of the lung channel, which is in the shoulder. We're going to review that. Notice it says regulates and descends the lung Qi. Remember that? So it descends the Qi down. Those of you who are still having breathing quite high in the body, lung 1 is a point of choice. As long as the lower burner and middle burners are sorted out, that's the trick. So okay, we're going to go to lung 5. Here we are. It's called cubic marsh. It regulates, tonifies the lungs. It expands and releases the chest, everyone. Now that's a really cool thing, and it's also a local point that's used for elbow pain. I'll show you exactly where it is. You can see on the chart there, it says biceps tendon. It's on the thumb side of the biceps tendon. And if I'll show you where it is on me so you can see. Basically, if you bring your elbow like this, you'll feel this tendon here. This is the biceps tendon. And lung 5 is right in there. It's a really easy to find point. And it's part of the lung channel that runs down into the thumb, and it connects up lung 1 down through into the elbow, and it's a really great point for opening up the lungs. So what we'll do is we'll incorporate that into our doing and hopefully turbocharge the lung descending function and really get the breathing. Now that we've cleared, strengthened the lower burner, cleared the middle burner, and regulated the upper burner through the fire element, this is the final step to getting that breathing optimized in terms of descending and activating the lung qi. So let's do it. Okay, so we're going to just shake out the arms, get them nice and relaxed. We're going to relax the shoulders. Okay, and we're going to start off with lung 1, just 1 inch down from the collarbone here, where it meets the front of the shoulder. Just give you a close up here. It's just right in there. We tap around that whole area there. We're going to go down. I'm going to aim for lung 5 on our way down to the thumb. So tapping here. Okay, now as we're tapping here, let's just take some breaths. Okay, and I've got a little challenge for you, for energy work challenge here. Look, this is such a strong point for descending the lung qi. It's really hard not to breathe, not to have the lung qi descended. If you try and breathe in now, and you try and breathe that breathing in as high as you can, you notice how it's really hard to get the lung qi to go up while we're stimulating this point. Okay, now if we shake out and we do the opposite, so we're breathing in. Okay, and you're imagining the qi going downwards, down towards the lower hara. See how much easier it is to do that. It's almost like this lung one, it kind of turbocharges the energy to the lung energy to descend down towards the lower burner. Excellent. We're going to go down now into lung 5. We're going to use that to expand the chest. So we're going to tap on lung 5. That's just right here. And let's use it with the breathing to expand the chest, which is going to take a really deep breath in. We're going to fill the whole area up with air. Here we go. Excellent. And then breathing out. And then we're going to tap down towards the thumb. And we're going to come back up the large intestine channel, which we'll be looking at in more detail next month. This is the first yang channel of the cycle, and it goes from the hand up, and eventually goes up into the face, which we'll find out more about next month. Okay, superb. Okay, let's do it one more time. We're going to tap here. Nice deep breaths downwards as we tap lung 1, descending the lung qi. And then we're going to go down into lung 5, and we're going to use that to expand the chest. So here we go. Ready? And then down to the thumb. Okay, excellent stuff. We're going to go up the large intestine channel just to provide a circuit. And we go into lung 1 again, descending the lung qi. You can feel it going right down to your feet. And then down, lung 5, expanding the chest. Let's just expand the whole area. Really relax the diaphragm. Open up all those intercostal spaces while tapping lung 5. And then go down to the thumb and then up. Okay, awesome. Okay, fantastic stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's that side. Now let's do this side. And coughing is good, by the way. Burping is good here, and coughing is good up here. Okay. So we're going to tap around lung 1, and we're going to descend that lung qi. Feel the breath going downwards. Excellent. And we get down to lung 5, and that's where we expand the chest. And then breathe out. We go down into the thumb, and then up the large intestine channel, more next month, just for a complete circuit around, back to lung 1 again, descending the lung qi. Expanding the chest. And then finishing off by going down the thumb and then back up. Okay, just one more time to get that breathing as optimized as possible. Going to really go for it. Lung 1, descend the lung qi down. Coughing is good. It's just expelling any toxins from the lungs there and from the throat. And we go down, tapping lung 5, breathing in, expanding the breath, and then down the thumb, and then up, down the intestine, and finish off. Oh, whoa, okay, wow, that's a real workout for the lungs using lung 1 and lung 5 there. So let's check in and see what's happening. We're going to open up kidney 1. We're going to relax the hips. Tune in internally to your whole internal spaces and notice what's happening here in the upper burner. A nice relaxed feeling from the fire element and the heart, but feel the lungs now supercharged. Can you feel that energy really buzzing around the lungs now? I can feel it all the way through into the back. It's kind of like really activated the lungs there. And that's like kind of turbocharged the descending and the expanding function through lung 5 and lung 1. Okay, so now the testing time, and this is your moment, upper burner people who had breathing a little bit high. Hopefully now we've stabilized the lower burner, released the middle burner, and increased the Qi in the upper burner. Let's find out what happens. So we're just going to relax, just going to stand normally. I'm just going to take a normal deep breath in and see where it goes. Okay, did you get that? Nice and stable, grasping for the Qi. This is nice and open, and the lungs now really activated. Supercharge the breath. And the breathing, of course, is such an important part of our overall Qi. Let's just do that one more time. Breathing in. Okay, well done, everyone. That's awesome. That's a really, really good breath now. Okay, let's just check the time, see if we've got enough time left. Yes, we've got just under 10 minutes to open up and finish off with the yang channels of the head and neck. Really important because we've worked a lot on the internal energetics. And it's really important to make sure that we get the yang channels of the head and neck released and out, down through the body and down through the feet, just to finish off. So let's just do some tapping. Okay, wiping the eyes. And rubbing the forehead. This is the gallbladder and triple heater channels right the way around here. The bladder channel runs over the top here, the top of the head, and runs all the way down the back, down into the feet. It's one of the longest channels in the body. We'll be getting to that later on in the year. Okay, and now a bit of a preview of what's going to be happening later on in this first 2-month cycle. We're going to do some points here, and this point here is large intestine 20. You can find it by just squeezing around underneath the cheekbones here. Come around to here. I'll give you a bit of a close-up if you don't mind, right here. That's large intestine 20, and we'll be meeting that point. We're doing it as a point of the week later on, but it's a really good point for welcoming the smell. It's called welcome smell. It's really good for the breathing. So just holding there, taking a deep breath in. You can feel it kind of clearing out the sinuses. That's one of its main functions there. Okay, and now the reason I'm mentioning it is because that's the end of the metal element or the lung and large intestine 2-month cycle. So we're going to get to this point at the end of February, and then we're going to jump to the next meridian pair. That's going to be an exciting moment because that's when the pattern of the meridians is going to start emerging. It's going to start showing itself, and as we follow the meridians through that daily cycle, through the months of the year, the kind of really beautiful, elegant way they all link up will slowly emerge. So by next Christmas, we'll be totally in tune with all of the channel locations and where they go. We've got a nice, relaxed schedule. We're going to spend 1 year going around 12 meridians. That's the kind of schedule I like. Okay, so we're going to squeeze down the SCM muscle. This is the stomach channel, by the way. There is actually a channel around the throat here. You might imagine that because of the lung, the windpipe. So we can just gently press around here too as well, just releasing the throat and the windpipe. And then we can come round again, round to here. Okay, we go down here. I can't remember what we need to do. Make sure we do the jaw as well and the ears. Okay, we've got the large intestine and the stomach channel down the front of the neck. Okay, excellent. So now it's time to just squeeze down the back of the neck here. I'm using the heel of my hand just to squeeze down to the bladder channel and then out into the gallbladder channel. Excellent stuff. Very good. Okay. How's that? Anything else you're doing? Just have a quick review. Anything, any other tension in the jaw? Or anywhere you need a bit more work? Otherwise, we can move on to the shoulders and stretch out the back. So all the yang channels meet, they start and they end on the face. This is a really important thing about this meridian cycle. So that's the reason why we like to clear the yang channels out, the head and the neck, really important, otherwise you can get headaches and kind of stuff, energy stuck in the head. So now just to emphasize that, we're just going to tap gallbladder 21, which is this point right on the top of the shoulder. It's a really strong downward acting point, really useful for shoulder tension and for any also headaches, eye strain and things like that. So tapping here is really good. If you've got any tension around here, it's a really good idea to spend some time just tapping on the yang channels. Okay, and then we're just going to go down, brushing off down the arms, brushing off down the sides of the body. Okay, so the only place that we haven't really got to at the moment is the bladder channel along the back, and that's tricky if there's only you working like me. If you've got a pair of you, if there's two of you in the room, you can work on each other. Otherwise, we have to do the best we can by tapping down as low as we can to the top. Okay, and then going as high as we can here. And then going down to the feet like this. Yeah, so we get as high as we can. Brushing off high as we can. Okay, a really good idea just to spend a couple of minutes just stretching the back out, because it's kind of hard to get to it, isn't it? So try this. We're just going to hang down like this. And we're going to use our imagination just to imagine that spine stretching out. We're going to breathe in, come up, and we're going to breathe out and stretch backwards. So I'm lifting the head up, imagining my head lifting up, stretching backwards, stretching the spine, and then breathing up, breathing in and going up, breathing out, floating down. Okay, just wiggling about, bouncing about, just getting that spine released, breathing in, stretching up, stretching back, breathing in and breathing out, floating down. Bit of a wriggle, getting the whole of the spine released. One more time, breathing in, stretching up, breathing out. Lifting the head up as we stretch backwards, breathing in, stretching up, and breathing out, floating down. As we go down, we're just releasing the whole spine. Okay, and just letting it release. Okay, very good. We've just got enough time for 3 breaths. So let's use these 3 breaths to really tune into what we've done this Wednesday. We're going to open up kidney 1. We're going to feel that really nice connection with the earth. Float the head up, breathe in, breathe out, and come up. Okay, breathe in, feel that lung chi coming in, relax the middle burner. Open up kidney 1, connect with the earth, and floating up, relaxing. Breathing in, one last time, breathing in, and breathing out, floating up. Okay, and then just checking in, feeling that kidney 1, feeling the connection deep into the earth, feeling that nice stable feeling in the lower burner, nice and open in the middle burner. And the theme of this week is that breath. So we just take a nice deep breath in. And just feel how smooth that is. It just comes in really smooth and naturally all the way down. And that's going to keep us going for the next week until the next Wednesday class. Okay, and that's it, everyone. That's another Wednesday class over. And thanks so much for taking the time to join us. And a nice, lovely group, 60 people. That really makes it worthwhile. It's lovely to see you all on. I'm just going to put a heart in the chat. Very good. Excellent. Thank you, Dinah. I can see you've been so busy on the chat. And next week, we'll continue with the last 2 weeks of the lung channel in our journey round the daily cycle of the meridians. So here we go. Just going to put a heart in the chat. There we go. Okay, cool. Lovely to see so many familiar names, and see you next week. Thank you, Dinah, for the chat. Have a great week, everyone.